Good day, Bravehearts all over the world. I'm Dr. Wolf, and I'm here today to actually go through what we call Don't Vet Your Pet, Heal Them. Now, just know this. Veterinarians, medical doctors, human beings with a spirit. For the most part, they got into the business because they love and care for humans or for animals or both. The reality is, it doesn't matter how caring you are. I mean, I have seen nurses that have the most beautiful spirit and the most beautiful heart, and they pour all their energy into their patients. But understand something, when you come from a corrupt, contaminated program, I mean, really? Thank God for nurses, or I don't know, I'd never want to be in a hospital at all, to be honest with you. And the reality is here is that whether you're talking about the medical system, or you're talking about the veterinarians, or you're talking about the dental system, these are all corrupted systems. You can go, who do you think you are, Dr. Wolf, talking like this? Well, guess what? I am going to tell the truth. I do not want to hurt anyone. Yes, I'm on here and I'm going to talk about don't vet your pet, heal them. And we have a sale going on. But the reality is, if I'm telling the truth, even if I am marketing something, wouldn't you want me to market something that is high vibrational and can actually heal your pet and get rid of 95% of your pet's symptoms on a physical level? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want to be the one to heal your pet? Just the same as human beings go out and they look for the great almighty healer, okay, all right? The great practitioner. Look at, if you want to understand healing, then you've got to understand this. The cure is an inside job. Download my manual, pdgfree.com. That's perfectdayguidefree.com. pdgfree.com. Just download it. Read the article that the cure is an inside job. And understand, your dog cannot cure him or herself. They rely on you being conscious and not drugging them, radiating them, surgery, taking a knife to them, because understand something. Whether you're talking your dog or your cat, guess what? You ready for this? The dog is the number one, not animal, but living creature on the planet for cancer. Number 2 now is cats. And where are they getting it from? Things like the science diet. You cannot walk into a pet shop and not think that you're not poisoning your pet. You have to understand something. The same food corporations that make the food that go in the supermarket, they're the same people that make the food for your pets and poisoning your pets. I have known in my lifetime 2 veterinarians that I would take my pets to. One was in Kelowna, British Columbia when I lived there, and the other one is in Florida, and her name is Marlene Seagull. And she lives in Tampa, Florida. And she is a healer. And she walks the line, let me tell you. But I'm going to tell you, these 4-legged, beautiful creatures, spirit beings, okay, are being poisoned to death. And understand something. So is the rest of the creatures on this planet, okay? Especially if they live in your home. Because guess what? You're going to do to yourself what you do to them. And understand something. I already told you 98% of all the food in a supermarket is toxic. 98% of all the pet food in a pet shop is toxic. And understand this, kibble's kibble. Dry food is dry food. Raw food is raw food, whether it's raw for a human being, raw for your dog. Your dog should be eating like an animal in the woods. And yes, we can give our pets other things, but understand something. Just as I tell you that if you're unconscious and you will grow a fibroid or a tumor or a pimple or a boil in your body, your dog is unconscious of everything, and if you're unconscious of what really heals your pet. And understand something right now. The same as right here. Look at this. A dog has a pelvis. And guess what? Whether you want to believe it or not, human beings are pooping in their pelvis, and that's the main dis-ease, okay, out of alignment thinking that we have on this planet. People are poisoning themselves by filling up the what? By filling up their pelvic. It's called the pelvic bowl. People are full of it. The dog is the same way. Did you watch the Doggone Healthy Pet Show with Dina and Debbie? Well, guess what? You really should go back and watch it and understand something. Whether your dog has had surgery, they've got scar tissue. That scar tissue needs to be relieved. Whether you believe it or not, 98%, 95 to 98% of all the problems is what your dog is drinking and what your dog is eating. And you are feeding your dog crap. 99% of the population, 99.9% of the population is feeding their dog crap. And understand, you know what? It's always that, isn't it? It's, you know, the grand illusion that doctors, medical doctors heal. The grand illusion that your vet is going to heal your pet. Well, how's your vet going to heal your pet with drugs, chemo, radiation, and surgery? The same thing that he's doing, that same thing that medical does to human beings. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I get on here and I go roar just to try to wake people up. You know, you wonder why your pet's overweight. You wonder why your pet is sluggish. You wonder why the pus is coming out of your pet's eyes. You wonder why your pet's nose is dripping. You wonder why your pet has such bad breath. Well, because it's rotting in its pelvis, just like a human being. You wonder why your pet is rubbing its butt on the rug or on the floor trying to break the pustules that are growing on its anus. You wonder why your pet has arthritis, which is inflammation of the joint because of pooping in its pelvis. And then you wonder why your pet is sick when you take tap water and you don't even structure it. You should be structuring all water. You can take tap water, you can take any water in the world, as long as you structure it, you protect yourself. You know, the reality is this. If you don't want to pay tens of thousands of dollars in vet bills, then spend hundreds of dollars and feed your dog properly. That's how it goes. You know, just as humans get sick, I mean, you know, the majority of the population now has an autoimmune disease. The majority of dogs and cats have an autoimmune disease, and it's all toxemia. It's called self-poisoning, pooping in the pelvis, creating infection, creating inflammation, and inflammation causes mutation. And understand, and the biggest thing that we're getting now is heart disease, and we're getting cancer. In pets, and we're getting diabetes in pets. Well, why not? You give them kibble. That's no more than potato chips and Oreos. I'm going to go through some things. We're going to be having a sale. It starts today. And then some people are going to go, here we go. Here's the marketing pitch. Yeah, but guess what? This is a really great sale. And understand, I'm really giving you the nutrition for your pets that they really need. Understand something. The same thing that humans do, your animals need to do. And understand something, we're not too far different from a dog or a cat. I'm not kidding. They've got all the same organs. They're made the same as us. Think about it, okay? They want to individualize everything. They want to make everything special, right? Guess what, Dr. Wolf? I'm going to take my dog to the specialist. I'm going to take my child to the specialist. Why don't you take your dog and your child to somebody that knows about whole body healing? Because it's whole body. It doesn't matter if it's a nose problem, an eye problem, an ear problem, a hip problem with your dog. It doesn't matter. Or it's all about whole body healing. And understand, it's about understanding digestion and understanding that everything is vibration. You know what? The majority of the population are giving low vibrational, toxic foods to their pets and wondering why their pets are getting sick. How sick is that? You can't buy anything that's on TV. You can't buy hardly anything, maybe 1 out of 100 things that your vet says. Your vet is no more than the same as a medical doctor. His job is not to heal. His job is to make you not feel. What do I mean by that? Well, hey, listen, he can shut your pet down by doing surgery and taking out that organ, or doing surgery on that pet by getting rid of that rotten tissue. But guess what? Was it lack of surgery? Was it lack of drugs? Was it lack of chemo? Was it lack of radiation? What was it? Help me out. It was lack of not knowing that everything is vibrational. If your dog's not doing high vibrational water, if your dog is not doing high vibrational food, and if the pet does not have a high vibrational owner, well, let's just put it this way. It's ruled, schooled, and fooled right down to being sick. How sick is that? So let me just go through these. I don't want to go through them too much because then people are going to go, oh, well, everybody's got their pitch. Dr. Wolf has his pitch. We have a product called Beyond Ormus Minerals. It has 92 different minerals in it. It is the highest electrolyte charge, electricity charge of any mineral product on the planet. We've got a study to prove it. In those Beyond Ormus Minerals, okay, it is also the strongest electrolyte drink, whether you're giving it to your pet or you're giving it to your children or you're giving it to your husband or anybody else. And if you don't understand, what is food lacking the most today is minerals. And understand, minerals give food flavor. But no, wait a minute, my dog has really great flavor in his food. Yeah, because it's additives and chemicals, and it makes your dog addicted to it. So your dog doesn't want to stop eating it. Your dog wants to eat, because they make them addicted to it so that they can poison them. Because the same people that are making the science diet and all of these other foods, okay, are also the pharmaceutical companies. Hey, let's poison them, let's infect them, inflame them. Now they're going to get sick. Now they're going to go to the vet. Now they're going to go take our drugs. Then the drugs are going to help to make them feel better because it's going to cause the gut-brain disconnection. The pet will not feel the inflammation, will not feel the pain, will not have the suffering. Okay, but guess what? Then what happens is the inflammation causes dehydration, causes mutation, and now we're going to have surgery. And then after the surgery, we're going to be in pain, so now we're going to give the dog lots of drugs. Or we're going to give the dog such low vibrational foods that the dog is going to have bad bacteria, and because good bacteria go bad, if you eat bad foods, you have bad vibration. And then when that happens, just know this, whether it's a human or a dog, they get autoimmune disease, which means the bacteria, which are the good bacteria that are the gatekeepers in your large intestine and small intestine, what happens when they become bad, especially in your large intestine, those gatekeepers, if they go from good bacteria to bad bacteria, and you've got infection that creates inflammation, guess what? The what we call tight junctions, which is the tissues together, okay, open up. Because when the good bacteria go bad, they're not gatekeepers anymore. So now, instead of just having nutrients go through, because that's what good bacteria do, but you go ahead and kill all the bacteria in a human and in your pets. We can't do that. We're 500 trillion. That's how many bacteria we have in our body, 500 trillion. We only have 50 trillion cells. If it wasn't for the bacteria, we wouldn't exist. So when the bacteria become bad, they're not gatekeepers. And then guess what? The tight junctions open up, and now you've got autoimmune disease, which is leaky gut, and your pet has it, you have it. And then guess what? You're pooping into your pelvis, and now all those chemicals are getting in. All those protein particles are getting into the bloodstream. So don't ask yourself why it all goes to hell in a basket. One round of antibiotics for you or the dog, and you just took an atomic bomb in there, okay? So Beyond Ormus Minerals is going to give your dog all the minerals it needs. Now, if an adult would take 40 drops of Ormus Minerals per day, a healthy adult, an unhealthy adult would do 80 drops a day. So with a pet, if you have a healthy pet, if an adult weighed 150 pounds, let's say your dog weighed 30 pounds, excuse me, then you would take 1/5. If the dog was not well, then you would take what? You would double the dose. So you double the dose. That's what you do. Go look up Ormus Minerals. If you go to store.docofdetox.com, you can do that. But if you download my pdgfree.com guide, then you're actually going to see in there all the products. You're going to be able to read it, go through it, and don't be afraid to call into our office customer service and with any questions that you have. And also, I should put Debbie's phone number here. So I will give you Debbie's phone number. She lives in Florida. And if you have any health questions for your pets, ask her because, man, you know, she's helping people all around the world. She's showing them how to do doggy enemas, okay, because saving their lives, thank you. Okay, she's showing them how to do the nutritional part. She talks about the non-surgical, how you can do non-surgical on your pets and just change them. You can change their lives. You can lengthen and strengthen their lives. You have the power, okay? Black gold. Well, you always take a little bit of black gold and you mix that in with their food. Now, black gold is a humic fulvic. We're the only ones in the world that make a humic fulvic without chemicals, right? So the black gold is it's not what you put in their water. You mix it with their food. They love it because it's so flavorful. What it does is it will bring in, okay, 60 different micronutrients, but it will actually get rid of parasites, chemicals, okay, viruses, okay, anything that's toxic or negative from the mouth to the anus, and it will restore the good bacteria in your pet's large intestine. This is one of the real go-to products for pets. You know, a lot of people will put their pets on daily cleansing tea, and like if an adult was taking 8 ounces a day of the daily cleansing tea at 150 pounds, you just do the weight and then you bring it down there and then you make it a little bit less. You're going to find out that you thought your dog wasn't constipated, but almost all dogs, all cats are constipated. Okay, because they're eating glicky, sticky, toxic food that causes infection, inflammation, and then a lot of mucus production inside the intestine, and everything gets glicky, sticky. And then if you get your dog on structured water, where you actually structure the water, you got 1,000% better hydration and detoxification, and these are on sale during this sale. So we talked about black gold. Now we'll talk about DMSO. I'm just listing it off, not in any particular order. Okay, so let's say that you have a pet, and that pet is starting to limp, and you can see that he's got a hip problem, or he's got what we would call an ankle problem, or he's got an elbow problem, right? Okay, just call it that for now. So what you got to do, believe it or not, is cut the hair around that joint, and then you're going to rub DMSO onto that joint. You're going to rub DMSO on there 3 times a day. Do you know DMSO is made from trees? Okay, it's a solvent. Wash your hands when you're done. But did you know that when you put that DMSO on, take a look at your dog in a few minutes. Take a look at the dog's pain. DMSO is a solvent, and it increases the circulation, which helps to take the scar tissue and make it into beautiful connective tissue by bringing in more blood flow. It helps to melt the crystallization and move the calcium out. Okay, so that's the reality. So get in there and rub it in, okay? So it's called DMSO gel. We have DMSO cream, but you want to use the gel, okay, on pets. Now, when we were working on Debbie's beautiful Taz, okay, so what happened was, okay, he had his tail cut off to make him look really cool, and that created scar tissue 10 inches right up into the spine. I don't know how old he is, I think he might be 4 years old, but the scar tissue from there, from the trauma, the cutting, he had scar tissue all around his anus, having trouble pooping. It was starting the scar tissue going to his hips, so he was getting hip problems, and it was going all the way up, the scar tissue went 10 inches up the spine. I'm not kidding. And he started biting himself. Okay, biting, because if he bites himself, he will create inflammation, which will cause more scar tissue, not scar tissue, but more circulation. So if you have a pain there, or it feels like it's numbing out, that's all he could do is bite himself. So now he's getting sores. So when I went to Florida, Debbie went and she shaved his spine because she was trying to do non-surgical through the hair. And I said, wow, you know what? If we shave his spine and then shave around where the tail was cut, okay, and we do the cell sonic regeneration, and then we do the non-surgical, and then we put DMSO on here, we win. And understand something, his whole life has changed. You know what? You're going to see on your dog's going to have breakouts on its tummy. You're going to see redness on its tummy. That's because it's rotting in its large intestine. Oh yeah, no, my dog goes to the bathroom. It's not what comes out, it's what stays in that's doing your dog in, okay? All right? Okay, let me see here. All right, so infinite iodine. Infinite iodine is the only molecular atomic iodine in the world totally pure. You can give your pet as much iodine as you want. It will dismantle a virus in 15 seconds, all the way from HIV to COVID and the avian and every other virus that's coming out. And I'm telling you, 15 seconds, that's all it takes. You can actually put infinite iodine into your dog's ear if your dog ear has an infection. Okay? You can spray it into your dog's mouth if he has an infection in his mouth. Okay, putting it in your dog's eye, well, it might sting a little bit, so we won't do that with the iodine. But we can definitely give your dog iodine with an eyedropper if your dog has any type of chronic illness. Let me say something. Iodine needs to be taken every day by every dog and every human. Okay? Now, I get it. You don't want to give it to your dog, but every human needs it. Do you know why? And if you're scared about your dog getting any type of critical illness, okay, and you want to prevent it, why would you give iodine to your dog, your cat? Why would you give it to your kids? Why would you give it to your grandma? Why would you take it yourself? Because iodine doesn't just feed the thyroid and balance it, thank you very much, and the hormones and disinfect viruses, but guess what it does? It actually is the main ingredient so that if any cell goes into mutation or any cell needs to say goodbye to itself, without the iodine, it will not kill itself. We need cells that are mutated, cells that are toxic. We need them to off themselves and to be relieved from the body so the new can come in. So right away, there's a big reason why you take your iodine. So you can always, if the dog has eczema or psoriasis, you've got to shave the area, okay? Then what you do is you actually spray, okay, the iodine on the area, leave it there for 2 to 3 minutes, that's long enough. Then what you can do is you take what we call hemp oil C60, and then you take silver bullet gel and you mix it, and you put a paste on that area, okay? But remember, all eczema, all psoriasis, they're all the same thing. Eczema is just a little brother of psoriasis. Okay, it all comes from dysfunctional bacteria in the large intestine. Oh yeah, so we can treat the outside, but we've got to treat the inside, and that's where the black gold, that's where the daily cleansing tea comes in. That's where you researching raw food comes in. That's where you get your dog drinking structured water, which hydrates the cells 1,000% better than any other known water. And you can take straight tap water, and even if you don't filter it, once it's structured, you're protected from whatever's in it. And I know you don't believe this, but that's called real science, okay? That's real science. Just like when the rain falls, just now we've got the chemtrails, we've got the acid rain, but when it comes down, everything jumps for joy like it did 500 years ago, because even though it could be heavy metals and chemicals in the rain, it does not hurt the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, or anything else. Think about it, okay? And if you don't believe me, those of you who drink beer or wine, go ahead and run that through the structure unit, and you won't have a hangover the next morning, because structuring protects humans and pets. Okay? Let me see here. And understand, I'll give you a 90-day money-back guarantee on the portable structure unit. Okay? I mean, you can get them for your pool, you can get them for your house, you can get them for your garden. Yeah. You can get them for industrial use, but I'll give you a 90-day money-back guarantee on any of them, okay? That I'm telling you that it's worth its weight in gold. No filter, never breaks down, okay? It's just gonna keep on giving you the best water ever. So we talked about the iodine. Perfect Day Multi. My Perfect Day Multi is better than even any prenatal multi on the planet. It's better than any multi-vitamin mineral that you would get at the gym. Now you're going, well, why would my pet need it? Well, guess what? Let's say your pet, an adult of 150 pounds would take 2 a day if healthy. If unhealthy, 2 twice a day. So the reality is this. If your pet, if the adult weighed 150 pounds and the pet weighed 30, that would be only 1/5. So you would take 1/5 of that. So that would be basically, it would be of one capsule, it would be 2/5. 2/5 of a capsule. That's hardly any money at all. Sprinkle that right into the food. It's going to make the food taste better. Okay? All right? Let me see here. We'll keep on moving because I'm catching a plane to Australia in 2.5 hours. Okay? Where I'll be going and doing a free lecture tour all throughout Australia and a whole life health coach certification in Coffs Harbour, and then Dr. Sage Wolf will be doing the Wolf non-surgical certification. All right, we talked about the Perfect Day Multi, Black Diamond Crystals. Well, Black Diamond Crystals, okay, we have those, and people will put that in the drinking water. It makes the water taste better. It gives it more flavor, but Black Diamond Crystals, you can even put the Black Diamond Crystals into the food with the Black Gold. Now, they're both humic fulvic, but the Black Diamond is a nano, where the Black Gold goes from the mouth to the rectum, helping to eliminate parasites, chemicals, heavy metals. What it will do is it will also reinstore the good bacteria in the large intestine. The Black Diamond goes into the blood, goes into the tissue cells, and into the brain, and does the same thing. It drops off 60 micronutrients, because that's what humic fulvic, it used to be in all our soil. That's why our food doesn't taste anymore, because they stripped it out, thank you very much. That's why the microorganisms that should be living in the soil don't live there anymore. Are you getting this? So now, the Black Diamond will go to the brain, it crosses the blood-brain barrier, it goes into the bloodstream, and it goes into the cells, where the Black Gold just goes through that tube called your digestive tract, okay? All right, curcumin cayenne. Now, curcumin cayenne stays in the capsule. They're veggie capsules. And what we have is curcumin, you know turmeric, right? Well, curcumin is 20 times stronger. Where turmeric has 5% curcuminoids, our curcumin has been brought down into a concentrate. It has 20 times the curcuminoids. When you add just a little bit of cayenne, we add 6% cayenne to it. Your dog would never know it, because all we do is this. Now, if you've got a dog with arthritis, you've got a dog in trouble, lots of infection, lots of inflammation, you know, if we do the same thing. Actually, with an adult's in trouble, they will take a curcumin cayenne every other hour that they're awake. So with your pet, if they were in trouble, you know, and let's say you can always call us and we can give you more direction. But if you gave a dog that was in trouble curcumin cayenne and you gave that to them, 1 capsule 3 times a day, wait till you see the difference. The drop in inflammation, infection, wait till you see the dog is going to be moving and grooving, wait till you see the energy levels. Remember something, the more infection you have, the less immune system you have. The more inflammation you have, the less immune system you have. The more inflammation you have, inflame, you eat up the oxygen. The more oxygen deficit you have, and if it goes down to 35% or more, whether it's your dog, your cat, or you, okay, you have a chance of what we would call, they call cancer, we call stage 4 inflammation. Because if there's not enough oxygen for the cell to live, then the cell converts itself, and now it's going to live off of lactic acid and sugar. And how do you get it back there? Well, guess what? It's all about alkalinity. It's all about high vibrational, high frequency nutrition and food and drink and having a loving environment. That's number 1, okay? Silver bullet gel, we talked about that already. But you can even squirt silver bullet gel into your dog's mouth. He'll lick it and swallow it, because silver bullet gel is nano silver and it has no harmful side effects. And with our silver, You could put our silver bullet liquid, okay, into your dog's drinking water. They won't even taste it. If they've got an infection, put it in their drinking water and have them drink it to bring down the infection. But if you put silver bullet gel in, if they've got like ulcers in their mouth or if they have a stomach problem, you're better to do the gel because it hangs around more. It's non-toxic. There's no toxicity to it. And our silver bullet gel and our silver bullet liquid are structured, and we run a 1,000-volt lightning bolt in to bring the frequency up, okay? Tummy love. Okay, all right. So believe it or not, if your dog isn't going to the washroom properly, you know, you can contact Debbie, but you can actually get the right thing to actually do a structured warm water enema with tummy love in it, and wait until you see. If your dog is sick and it's laying there and it doesn't get up, I just hope you know that 95 to 98% of the time, it's got bowel problems, it's got parasites, okay? You say, oh no, I saw it go to the washroom twice today. It's not what comes out, it's what stays in. That's gonna do you in. Let me say something. How could you ever have infection anywhere else in the body unless your large intestine was breaking down? And whether you're talking a cat, a dog, a child, an adult, it's all the same thing. It's not different. Understand something. Don't vet your pet, heal your pet. Become the practitioner for your pet. And then if you need emergency care, then go to the vet. C60 hemp. It's amazing. Okay? Dogs love it. When I put C60 hemp oil on my skin, because I do, if you take a close-up of my skin, you know, not saying that I'm the youngest and the best or anything, but look at my skin for 67 years old. I'll be 67 in 3 weeks, okay? So, you know, look at my skin, and I'm in the sun a lot. Most people would be very wrinkly, but this is actually, I use MCT C60, and I use hemp oil C60 on my skin, but I take it orally. Do you know why we age, why we get wrinkles, why we get old, why our skin sags? We don't have enough fatty acids. The best fatty acids that are made on this planet, and I'm not kidding, because MCT C60 and hemp oil C60, okay, all right, they're the strongest antioxidant on the planet, 270 times more powerful, not 270%, 270 times more powerful than vitamin C. It actually restores the brain. You'll see the dog's eyesight will get better. It'll be more alert, okay? You need to read up on it. Anyways, we have the hemp oil on sale, and I already told you, you can use the hemp oil and the silver to actually, if the dog has any skin condition, please shave the dog. The hair will grow back, okay? Shave your dog and help your dog, okay? Don't let your dog sit there and suffer. It's always looking up at you going, why? Why can't you help me? You can now. Okay. That's it. That's it for the sale. And I hope you enjoy it. And like I said, I'm going to see if I can get Debbie and Dina, okay, to do another pet show this week, okay, and talk about pets because, listen, please don't take this wrong. 99.9% of the population, they just don't even know about real health, whether it's for themselves or their pets. They actually know all kinds of things that they're doing that they think are healthy, and they're actually making themselves sick and making their pets sick, and it's not your fault. Remember something. This is planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. And I have to tell you something. Look, there's a lot going on. 2 days ago, something went on that the whole world's talking about now. It's all staged. You got to get this. Everything's a stage. Everything's a stage. We are spirit beings created by God Almighty. And when we come down here, we are manipulated, okay? Until, guess what? Until we become infected here. And then we become infected here because the psychological rules the biological, the invisible creates the physical. right from a pimple to a tumor. Understand that. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. And I understand. If I decided to play the game, then I should understand the rules. And I should not get angry. Remember, they want to distract you. They want to make you think you're too stupid to look after yourself and too stupid to look after your pets. And understand, corporations run the government, and nobody gets high up in the government unless they do what they're told. They're all just actors, and guess what? The three-ring circus is about to begin. Mind your own business. Don't talk about what's going on in the world. Do your research and then strategize. Okay? Whether it's for your pet or for yourself or for your children. Please be centered. Stay in the present moment. Own it. Present moment is 1/10,000th of a second. And I'm in the present moment. Doesn't matter what goes on. All the bombs could go off in the world. This, that, I don't care. It's going to be the same calm, fantastic day for me no matter what goes on in the world. And then some people are going, well, isn't he cold-hearted? No. Let me tell you something right now. I do not run a suffering program. Most people in a family, they all jockey to see who's going to run the biggest suffering program, and that person is usually the sickest one. They're drained. They feel like a shell because they believe that, suffering is the way. Please do not suffer for your pet. Do not suffer for yourself. Do not suffer for the world. Stay in the present moment and own it. Get yourself a Braveheart love band. 3, 2, 1, I got this. That snaps me back to the present moment. It says there's a new sheriff in town called Unconditional Love and Protection and Respect for Myself. Okay? And the reality is this. It's as snug as a hug, the band. I'm snapping back to the present moment. You know what? When I got myself into a crisis, and what it was is we all go there where we hit this big wall in our life. Mine was 30 years ago. It was a big wall. I just said to myself, I don't want to be here and play this game anymore. I wasn't meaning I was going to off myself. I never ever thought about that in my life. I don't even know how people do that, but whatever, it happens, okay? I just said, it's not going on like this. I took my daughter's hairband, put it around my wrist, and I said, I'm going to snap this thing 30 times an hour. And every time I snap it, you know what I said? I love and approve of myself. That's what I said. How about this one? I will take care of myself. I will love myself. I will respect myself. I will honor myself. I will take nothing personal. I need nobody's approval. It doesn't matter what other people think about me. No, I'm quitting my job and finding my passion. Thank you for having me on, and just remember something. Mix up the words in earth and you've got heart. Always process through the heart, not the mind, because it's a landmine. And just know that I love you. I will maybe never meet you. You don't have to love me. I'm going to love you anyway. 3, 2, 1. We're stronger when we're together. God bless.